What's up, guys and girls? Rob here, and breaking news on the wire, on the AP wire. 3 ball players in major leagues already have decided to forego playing here in 2020. Okay, I don't agree with what the players get to do here. I'm sorry. Anybody else out here, I don't care what line of work you're in. If you dig ditches, if you work at a store, whatever, and you tell them, no, thank you, I don't want to work during this pandemic, they're going to fire your ass. These guys, there's no way in hell they should, number one, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. No, not at all. Why should they? There's people working every day. People at Walmart have to work. Why should they have the right? Because let me tell you Mike Leake's deal. Yeah. You see, if they don't pay him a $5 million buyout at the end of the year, he becomes a free agent. I mean, then they have to sign him for 2021. Bullshit. Total bullshit. I hope the ownership groups come in on this. Ryan Zimmerman. Sure they are. They're professional players getting paid. Show the hell up. No. There's no way that they should be able to just walk off. No way. They're not NBA players. NBA players is totally different. Some of these clowns are not making anything. Lurch, Ryan Zimmerman, he's not making anything anyway. So they'll probably release him. Joe Ross, league minimum. So, MLB contracts are guaranteed. So, but they're not getting paid. Well, I'll tell you what would you do if your place of business was going to fire you? You tell me. Everybody here is working. Everybody in the state of Virginia is working. Most of people showing up for work. Hell yeah. People are not at home here. People are working. They're out driving to work every day. I'm serious. Lawn care business, everything. It's going on wide open here. This state is open again. You can go to remember their lives, or hey, the thing is, they shouldn't have to pay. They shouldn't get a year's service for that though. That's the thing I have a problem with. If they don't want to play, they don't have to play. There's no way in hell they should get a year's worth of service out of it. And the ones that do show up do get a year's worth of service out of it. A whole year's worth in 60 games. So think about that. If they get hurt in the training right now, let's say they go to training camp and they get hurt. See, there's no way they should get a year's service. He gets a year's service for this. There's no way. No way he should. You go put the break. Yeah. Well, no, they're not getting paid. No, he's not going to get paid. But the service time, you become a free agent quicker and stuff like that. That's what I disagree with, you see. If you don't want to play, I mean, that's your business. But you're not going to – the guys that can make 20, 25, 30, $35 million, they're going to play. They will play. Trust me. Number one, they're in great shape. So if they get the flu, they're going to have the best doctors. They're going to have all the best out there. They will have that. If a baseball player gets injured and has to miss out games, would they normally get paid full amount of money? Yes, Tam. If they're put on the injured list, they're paid. Yes. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. If they get hurt, they should be. If they get released, they'll get the rest of their contract money. Yes. Either way. But if, they're supposed to show up with the team, though. They have to travel with the team, even injured. It's a lot of capacities they do. And sometimes they want them in the booth talking to the guys with, that are announcing the games. A lot of things. It's all PR. It's all PR. They're trying to make them where they're going to make more money for the team. Whether it's, I'll sit there and talk to ESPN for 3 innings. Great. Or I'll sit in the booth and I'll talk to these guys for 3 or 4 innings in between the guys. Great. Or I'll go sign stuff at the gate for the kids. Great. It's just all a matter. I think NFL are not guaranteed. That's why NFL players move around so much time. Well, once they show up for camp, then they'll get paid that season as long as they stay there. They guaranteed through that year. Yeah. Now they can release them during the year, but they protect them for that one season, but that's about it. You can sign in the NFL, you can sign a 10-year contract, and during the off season after the first year, they can get rid of you, which is total garbage. Total garbage. But the NFL Players Union's okay with that. So as long as they are, but in baseball, they have the best contracts of all. Their contracts, Bryce Harper's 13 years, $330 million. He's played 1 year of that. If something were to happen to him, they have to finish paying all that contract out to him. Now, sometimes they can get that deferred monies and be like, okay, we want to spread it out over 20 years. That's fine if the Players Union okays it and the player okays it. But other than that, no, sir. They have to pay it. Now, it won't count. What if Harper gets released? If he gets released, he gets paid at full contract. He gets paid his full contract. 300 whatever million is owed him. Yep. So if he starts tomorrow where he can't hit a lick, that money's his. All right. So he signed a good lucrative deal when he had the chance. So think about that. Nolan Arenado was given the opportunity in the offseason to do it. And now you never know what's going to happen. Now with COVID and stuff like that, look at what could happen. Yeah. So it's, you never know what can happen in this world. And Harper went on and signed a big deal. He said, I want to play the rest of my years in Philly. And that's what happened. But this garbage of these guys just decide not to play, hell, they're just as apt to get it going to the Walmart as they are to playing ball. Hell, I've been out playing golf a few times. I feel safer playing golf than I do. There we go. Let's see what we got here. I just want American sports leagues back. Why not make every player wear a mask? European soccer leagues started back like a month ago. What would do if you were the owner of those players? Well, if I was an owner of those teams right there, first off, I would do like this. I'd be like, okay, do you, your wife, and your kids want 4 hotel rooms to yourselves? A chef or, cook, whatever. And when we do go to the stadium every day, do you want to drive yourself and not get around the other players? If so, we'll take care of a car for you the whole season. We will take care of those rooms for you where these kids can have all the playtime they want when they're not actually playing ball. When they are playing ball, we'll find a place for your kids to play. And, have your wife with them if she wants to be. If she doesn't want to, we'll have the nanny with them or whatever. It's not so difficult. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Plus they're either going to be in Arizona or Florida. Okay. In a baseball stadium where it's going to be closed off to everybody else, a couple hundred people is going to be like nobody. And when I say a couple hundred people, I'm talking 50 for one team, coaches and all, 50 on the other, coaches and all, wires and all that. How many games again? Only 60 games. They're going only 60 games. So that's why I say they're going to make sure they're done before November. So, I mean, they're just as likely to catch it at whatever city they're in, especially if you're in a big city. If you're out in the country somewhere and they're going to play some of these games at like college venues, that kind of thing, they're going to be playing some of these games not in the mainstream, but they're going to have cameras on them all the time because they're going to have somebody sitting in their living room calling the games. So, it's a lot of money to turn down. Now, if you want to retire, that's one thing. I wouldn't, I could understand that completely. But, what happens if halfway through the season, let's say 30 games in the season, they decide, well, you know what, my team is, what happens if your team is 25-5? Then you're like, oh, shit, I'd love to go back and win another World Series. They shouldn't let them back then. There's no way they should let them come back. And I hope they won't. Just if you decide you're not going to play, you don't play. And then you have to sign, I think they have to sign something saying they're not coming to play. But it definitely wouldn't be fair to the players playing as if they were playing really, really well and then you just popped up on the scene. That'd be a BS move. I wouldn't like seeing that at all. But, yeah. Oh, okay. Players that are opting out will not accrue service time. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. So they are not getting service time for this year. Okay. I didn't know that. Mike Leake would give up about $5 million. $5 million and he'd pitch 12 games. So, and because he's making what, $16.5 million this year, I think, something like it. So by pitching 12 games, it'd be $5 million he's giving up, and he's just a starting pitcher. So we'll see what happens. So I just found it to be very, very interesting. I was like, wow. Yeah. 12 games. He could pitch 12 games for $5 million. So that's almost $500,000 a game. Think about that. And he doesn't have to be around people. He's a pitcher. I mean, shit. When on his days off, he's sitting in the stands. The starting pitchers on the next days are allowed to sit in the stands now, in the shade even. They're allowed to sit up in the shade. They can sit way on back. They don't have to sit right behind the dugout. No, they were going to have to, but they're not making them. So you can sit up there, eat a hot dog 4 days a week, and your fifth day pitch 12 times. Yeah, sure. And like I say, $5 million. And then if your team makes the playoffs, you can go to the World Series. How about that? I don't know about that one. Everyday players, And the thing is, Ryan Zimmerman was not going to be an everyday player. He was going to be on the bench some. So he did. That's part of his decision. I don't think he wanted to go down there and sit down there. Do I watch college baseball? I do not like college baseball just due to the fact the aluminum bat. No, if they make them go to wood bats, yes. But I won't sit here and watch a college baseball game. Yeah. Yes. Yep. I'm fixing to go to bed anyway. Yep. Yeah. So no, I don't watch college baseball just due to the fact of the aluminum bat. I don't like. I mean, as much money as a college is taking in, it makes so much sense for them to go to a wooden bat. On average, 10 to 15 players every year get hurt by the ball coming back, hitting them and stuff. These guys can hit the ball, these college kids. And they would probably save a lot of injuries too. It does. It sounds great when you hit it with an aluminum bat, but it doesn't sound good if it's getting hit right back at a pitcher. And roughly 15 to 20 times a year in college, players are getting hurt really bad, some of them real bad. And, to me, hey, I'm just saying, the Major League, these kids can hit, man. They're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, and they're even thinking about making the high schools go to wooden bats. And different states are thinking about doing it. It's a money thing. That's the only reason they use aluminum bats. It's a money issue. But if in the long run, if they could save a couple of kids from getting hurt, why not? Plus, I'm going to tell you something else. A kid can find out his value more in a Major League Baseball market if he hits home runs. Oh, yeah. It's aluminum bats cost less. You wouldn't have to, wooden bats cost more. Yeah, that's why they haven't done it before now. Oh, yeah. Aluminum bat may run $120, but very seldom do they break. Broken bat, then you got to go get a new bat, go get a new bat, go get a new bat, and the college has to pay for all this. So it's always money is always the root of all evil. It's always the root of all evil. That's why, like I say though, if they go to wooden bats, right, and a kid hits 30 home runs, then it's not the bat. It's a kid can actually pop it. It gives him more credibility if he leaves college at, let's say, 18, 19 years old, gets drafted and be like, well, that kid hit 30 home runs in his junior year at UCLA or whatever. And it was with a wooden bat, and, he hit 10 over 400 feet or whatever. It just gives them more of a credibility issue. As some schools have thought about doing it and trying to help the kids that are going to try to do it as a living. Teams like Notre Dame, teams that's got a lot of money, they don't mind it too bad. They may lose a game or two just because they're not using aluminum, but still, if players find out that, looking over to the side, I see what's going on. If players find out that the reason they're doing it is to try to help the player become a professional, then all the kids that want to become pros will go, hey, maybe that's where I want to go. That's the same way with college in football. Very few college quarterbacks that are good wants to go to Alabama or somewhere like that. They want to go somewhere where they can throw the ball all the time. Oregon, Washington State, Washington, Ohio State, Michigan, somewhere like that. They just don't want to go to Alabama. Now, LSU ended up getting they got the gold mine this year, but most of the time they don't do that. Most of the time, the best quarterbacks rather go somewhere where they know they can run around, throw the football all over the field, and the coach doesn't care. And it just happened this year. LSU ended up having the gold mine behind them with Joe Burrow, and it worked out for him. But hey, the aluminum bat issue, it's not going away. Hey, all I say about it is, you know, what's the difference in 5 home runs or 4 home runs a year? Give your kids a wooden bat. You can tighten it. You can even tighten it. You can even, since you mentioned Notre Dame, do you see them winning a national championship anytime soon? Football, no. Football, no. They are they're still a team that really, really has a lot of rules. It's like 14 pages of rules you have to sign before you go there. I will not do this. I will not do that. A lot of them's dating type stuff. You can date, but I don't think so. I think Notre Dame has a ways before they're going to be back to where they want to be. Quick visit, because I could care less about MLB. By my Lord, I am shocked you are not in prison by now. How much? Oh, good Lord. Amish Gaiman has obviously been drinking tonight. He's obviously been hitting the bottle a little bit. But I don't see Notre Dame winning for a while. Those Southeastern Conference teams are so tough. And then you got teams like Notre Dame. I mean, not Notre Dame. I'm sorry. Not Notre Dame. I'm sorry. Ohio State. Oklahoma. They're always 1 or 2 games away from winning it all. Really, no teams out west impressed me so much. They all lose 1 or 2 games every year. But most of the time, those Southeastern Conference teams, along with Clemson they're a deadly team in the ACC now. And ACC is not a great conference. So they should be able to run right through that conference with Trevor Lawrence. They're the number 1 team in the country starting this year. So they're going to be tough. I'm not going to say they won't get beat, because Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Florida, like the naked bike rider. All those teams down the Southeastern Conference, Georgia, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. They're all tough teams. LSU, obviously. I feel like the best team is going to come out of the SEC to play Clemson. Of course, it could be Ohio State. I guess it could be Penn State. Wisconsin is always there. And then you got Oklahoma and Texas. Who knows what the hell they'll do. But you go much further west than that, and I think they're mostly dreamers more than they are for real. That's what I think anyway. If Notre Dame can get somebody in there that is a natural quarterback, and when I say a natural quarterback, can stand in the pocket, throw the ball, what's up, Tribe fan? Not scared of getting hit, and he's 18 years old, and they know they're going to have him here for 4 years, that might could start the ball rolling for those guys to get some good receivers, better linemen. The best players do not want to go to Notre Dame right now. That's just the way it is. But they can change it if all they got to do is get a couple of great players to come to Notre Dame. You can turn it around really quick. Really quick. What's going on, Tribe fan? Am I a big fan of the mobile quarterback? In college, I don't have such a problem with it. In NFL, no, not really, because name very many real mobile quarterbacks that can't stand back there that's going to win much. Not many of them do it. Steve Young was a little bit mobile, I guess, but he only won one. Russell Wilson, a little mobile, I guess, but he only won one so far. Most mobile quarterbacks, they get hit and they get hurt. In college, it's a little bit different. In college, they have the chance to run. They don't have, 11 NFL players coming after them. Lamar Jackson might be next. Lamar Jackson could be. Lamar Jackson, went to the playoffs last year with the best team in football and got beaten in the first round. So, all right, Mr. Huss, H. Huss is heading out. I'm heading out as well. It's 10:30 here on the East Coast. The big news, 3 MLB players have decided to not report. Ryan Zimmerman, I got the players' names right here. The 3 players are not going to report. Mike Leake of the Diamondbacks, Ryan Zimmerman, and Joe Ross, 2 Nationals and 1 Diamondback. They're not going to play this year. They have told their teams, we are not going to show up. They really dislike my wiffle ball. They believe that could be code. Oh, my goodness. But we'll see how many more. Now, it's going to be a longer list in the next week. Probably be as many as 30 or 40 players that's not going to play. But they're not getting service time. We just found out about that. They are not receiving service time if they don't show up, that's the right way. That's the right way of doing things. I thought they were getting service time, but they're not. So I don't have a problem with it too bad. And you guys have a great, great night. Interzone, Amish Elvis, H. Huss, King Castro, Tribe Fan. I don't know who else is here. Who else? Somebody's not here and not saying nothing. Tam P. That's who's here. And me. You guys have a great, great night. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, and wash your hands some more. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll have game number 27. M. Sharver's here. We'll play another game of payoff pitch. Phillies have won 2 in a row now. 2 in a row against the Marlins. Let's see if they can keep it going. Maybe get that sweep. Let's hope so. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Have to be morning if I see you. Otherwise, I may not see you at all tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday. Have a good one, guys, and God bless. Bye.